12th, I think I'm free. Jane Chenault. The Northwest nation was born on a crisp and clear afternoon in the autumn, 5 years to the day after the Singer family had been burned alive in their home in Coeur d'Alene, rather than allow their children to be torn from their arms by the beast. 5 years to the day after Gus Singer's neighbors had taken guns from their hiding places and opened fire on the armed forces of the United States in order to help a good neighbor and a good man fight against the tyrant who came in his power and his arrogance to do them harm. 5 years to the day after white males became men again. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the group of delegates walked out the front door of the hotel. They in the watching world could hear a rattling from the cable on the flagpole as the stars and stripes which had flown over this land since the days of Lewis and Clark went down for the last time, after something over 200 years. Human history brings change, and 200 years in the Northwest was the span that destiny had allotted for the red, white, and blue banner that now seemed to drop like a stone down the staff. There was a brief and quick folding, and Barrow handed the flag to Brubaker, who was weeping openly. Barrow stepped back and saluted. Brubaker was too overcome to return it and simply clutched the American flag to his chest. Then Kathy hooked the grommets on the new nation's banner into the clips and drew it floating and snapping, high into the air, green and white and blue against the sky. As the tricolor went up, music burst forth from the hidden speakers. A Mighty Fortress is Our God, by Martin Luther. It was a thundering paean to God and human destiny, in the proud and ancient tongue of the greatest and most noble nation among the children of the sun. Generations after the heroic immolation in the Berlin bunker, the spirit of a mighty people and their leader was avenged by 100 mighty voices, singing in German. Nobody noticed that the hymn came from a public address system. It seemed to come from the sky and earth itself, as if a choir of angels and heroes from Valhalla had descended to earth sing at the new dawn of time. The entire crowd suddenly burst into an incredible cacophony of noise. Men and women screamed, wept, cursed, pounded one another on the back, embraced one another in a mad passion of joy that at long last their ancient race was free once again to be who they were. Jeanette Galinsky. H. Covington ran hysterically through the crowd, shrieking and bellowing in Yiddish like a wounded beast. Howard Weintraub fell to the ground, jerking like an epileptic, white froth coming from his thick lips. No one paid them any attention. Their day was done. Barrow stood staring at the flag, his arm around Jane Chenault. He turned to her and said, "So what are you doing after the revolution?" "I think I'm free," she whispered. Cody and Emily turned to one another and hugged in unbelieving joy, both of them crying. "This day has to last forever." Cody whispered into her ear, "Never leave me. Stay with me always." Her face was buried in his shoulder, and she simply